Hello there, Capricorn, Capricorn Rising, and of course all of you Capricorn Moon people out there. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting January 20th, 2020. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can simply follow the links below. So what's going on over the course of this coming week? Well, on Wednesday, we've actually got the Sun in Aquarius, your second house of earned income and employment, in a square to Uranus, which is actually in your fifth house of love, romance, and your relationships with your kids. And a breakthrough when it comes to money, when it comes to wealth, new opportunities, might not necessarily rub a partner, a crush, or maybe even a routine we have with our children the right way. This could also show up in an area where a new opportunity, a new financial opportunity comes your way, but it puts itself at odds with maybe even a creative project or personal enterprise that you have going on. Now, because it's a square, we can work it out, right? Squares have cures, but don't be surprised if maybe this comes as a bit of a shock that feels a bit destabilizing or even challenging or threatening to other parties involved. Again, partners, kids, our own personal enterprises, things like that, because it does seem to demand a little bit more attention and a little bit more urgency, and it might be a bit of a swift shift we have to propose on others in our lives. It can be dealt with, it's going to be okay, just make sure you keep in mind that this might be catching some people off guard, and some people don't handle that all that great. When it comes to Thursday, we've got Venus, planet of love, harmony, and affection, in your third house of communications, pacts, promises, and commitments, in a gorgeous sextile to Jupiter, which is currently in your sign. And it does look like there's a bit of boost in personal fame for a lot of you Capricorn people this week, whether you are looking for a bit of local fame in your town or in your neighborhood. Maybe this is something that's going on for business or a publishing project you have. With Venus in your third house, it's a great time to be attracting new customers, possibly even letting yourself get pulled into new collaborative opportunities. Jupiter is expanding awareness and opening up and spreading awareness of the services you offer and what you bring to the world and community at large. And if you are trying to gather and hold attention or gain awareness or support or backup for anything, it's going to be a gorgeous week for that, especially as we get to Thursday and Friday. And don't be surprised, Venus in the third house, as I've said in the monthly horoscopes, you know, it's all about people going out of the way to matchmake you and hook you up. So before we move on to the cards, I do want to remind everyone that, yes, I know there's a new moon this week, but I did cover those in the monthly horoscope. So if you're interested in those, you do have to be a part of my Patreon channel, and you can follow the links below for more information about that, okay? And also, if you're having trouble finding anything that you're looking for on this channel, go to my main channel page. You can just click on my avatar beneath this video and scroll down, look through the playlists, or you can click the link in the down bar below to the instructional video on how to find something that you might be having a hard time finding. So what's going on when it comes to your cards this week? Well, it seems to be, again, all about mitigating and working around and just sort of passing through any kind of external stressors, making sure that we, be caring but not necessarily take on the stresses of other people, because with the spiritual themes being the Nine of Swords in reverse, this is all about not helping people co-create their self-fulfilling prophecies, but also at the same time not letting ourselves get pulled off course because of reactivity. A lot of the times the Nine of Swords reversed, people are freaking out about some things that they don't need to freak out about. They're just uncomfortable, it's the unknown, maybe they can't handle being thrown around in an absurd universe, which it is, or they might be having a difficult time accepting ambiguity, so they get a little stressed out, they want their routine. This is not a week for that. This is not a year for that. And a lot of that stuff is getting dissolved as we speak, but I think that you may be encountering personally some issues that you need to be able to, again, know when to take some space for yourself and know where maybe a person is not cut out to maybe handle certain tasks or handle certain decisions that need to be made. And it's not about being reductive. We're not talking them down, But with your influx of the Knight of Wands upright, we are taking a more independent way this week. A lot of you Capricorn people are starting to make some serious objective decisions about yourself. We're pulling ourselves out of stressful equations and taking as well a little bit more space for ourselves, even if we are in committed situations, right? We're on work teams, business partnerships, marriages. Doesn't mean anyone's breaking up. It doesn't mean anyone's getting a divorce or separating or anything like that. But we have to take some time for ourselves so we can actually get into a better space. Again, go ahead alone if you need to, right? We have to sometimes be like, look, I understand this is not something you can be a part of in this inception progress or process. If somebody can't handle steps A, B, or C, but we know they're going to be a shoo-in for L, M, and N, then we might want to consider taking some time. The Knight of Wands is an influx, is indicating, again, rapid advancement coming your way. People actually starting to launch you. A lot of projects, a lot of plans are getting ready to take off this week, which is absolutely gorgeous. But what I am seeing with the outflux, what's going away, again, that Two of Cups upright is indicating not everyone who is attached to you currently is going to be able to rise to the challenge or heed the clarion call, right? And we have to be okay with that, right? No judgment to anybody if they can't handle it, or maybe they're too busy, or they can't cope with the demands of the stress in the present. But it does look like you might be going ahead alone to have so-and-so catch up with you a little bit later. And again, it doesn't have to be physically. There doesn't have to be any breakups or separations. But we have to give whatever's coming our way its best chance, which also means understanding who is and who is not helping us co-create the best of it. As we get down into the mundane concerns, right? We talk about money, social life, and relationships. Let's talk about money first, material concerns. We have the Page of Swords upright. A lot of you Capricorn people are starting to see, again, shows getting on the road. With the Page of Swords upright, these are interviews, these are evaluations, these are tests, these are opportunities to demonstrate yourself and your skills, but also promote yourself. For those of you that have been waiting on callbacks, those of you who've been waiting on maybe opportunities to negotiate, accept, or hear proposals of offers, even in non-professional settings. This could be offers on houses, offers on sales, offers on investments, offers when it comes to personal projects. The Page of Swords upright says many meetings occurring this week, either in person or digitally. In a lot of cases for you, this is time to be able to, again, just simply drop things and go for it. Oh, it's time for that now? Okay, let me take a rain check on that coffee I was going to have with my friend. Let me tell my partner I'm going to be home an hour late. You know, it's okay to do that. It's okay to break with a routine if there's something good coming in to shake up your timeline a little bit. We don't have to do this in a way that's selfish, and as long as people are respectfully informed, it should be okay. When it comes to the external, when it comes to other people in your life, your friends and your relatives, we have the Nine of Cups. And again, we have this breakthrough. People showing up for you, like we saw with Venus in the 3rd house. Hookups going on. In fact, with the Nine of Cups upright, it does look like a friend or a relative may be having some key or clue or final puzzle piece to something that you're already working on, or maybe something that you need to complete in order to get started with a major ambition or aspiration that you have. Because I'm seeing with the Nine of Cups, this person is showing up and they're basically not only giving you a yes answer, but they're throwing in their support. And their support does seem to be both social and material, moral, as well as just this, as well as action-based. You know, it's all about trying to get you where you need to go. The Nine of Cups upright is indicating this is a week where it is okay to also welcome in new people. Yes, we're taking space from folks that are not able to keep up the pace. Fine, no big deal, right? Just wait for me at home. But with the Nine of Cups upright, there will be a chance to also bring in some people that are working at that pace that you are. So keep that in mind. You know, you are kind of getting ahead of a lot of your own teams, a lot of your own groups, a lot of your own communities. And that's okay to be a rising star. Sometimes people might try to guilt trip us. Sometimes the constitution of a certain type of group or a certain consensus reality of a certain community or whatever it is might, even make us feel like we're not supposed to do that, like it defeats the purpose of the group or it goes against the edicts of the community, that says more about that edict than anything else. So proceed without guilt. When it comes to your relationships and love and romance, well, we do have the Five of Swords upright. So again, it does look like there will be some conflict when it comes to relationships, especially when it comes to people feeling kind of personally attacked and personally bruised by things that are not personal attacks. And I feel like this might be something that we need to make sure that, again, nobody tries to take so personally during this period. This could even be happening in a new dating circumstance. The Five of Swords, as always, is talking about learning how to have conflict. We need to know how to live in a world where we can have a disagreement or quarrel or debate without having the world, the relationship, or the job come to an end, right? And so it's still an opportunity to get closer and just learn how to handle it. But with the Five of Swords, what often happens is that sometimes people can make each other feel responsible for walking on eggshells around somebody's bruise or somebody's wound or somebody's baggage. We don't want that. That's not a healthy way to carry on a relationship, to constantly accommodate that without actually working through it. And with the Five of Swords upright, an incident like that may come up. For some of you, it may not be between you and your partner or you and somebody new. It may be between you and your partner or you and somebody new versus maybe somebody outside of this connection. Okay, it could be a friend of yours, a family member of yours, something along those lines that still needs to be addressed. Because I am seeing the conflict kind of centering around you, so it might not necessarily be an in-law, but it might be something of you and yours against you and yours. So just be prepared, okay? Remember, nobody takes anything personally. We're just not letting things go into that spirally place, right? Because spirals are not therapeutic. So that's your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hell, you all know I appreciate it. And if you ever wish to get a session with me, almost had a hiccup, but I guess not. If you ever wish to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.